Hello and welcome back to another World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor Alpha video. So this time we're going to be having a bit of a chat about primary stats, and there's actually been some changes. Now this is not stuff that we knew about previously. In case you're not aware, basically the alpha has just came out. I don't think people have got invites yet, but they have dropped a ginormous, absolutely massive thing of patch notes. And in this they detail the primary stat changes. So what are they? Well, basically, they started off by saying that the primary stats were not created equally, and this has basically made it very hard to balance secondary stats. The main reason is that intellect and agility actually provided crit in addition to attack power or spell power, whereas strength only provided attack power. So they've basically removed crit from agility and intellect, but they actually do feel like agility-based classes should have a little bit more of a crit chance, so they've decided to increase the baseline crit chance for those classes. In essence, what they're doing is increasing the baseline critical hit chance for all classes by 5%. That's probably just to compensate for some of the losses they would have got anyway. But then if you're a rogue, hunter, feral druid, guardian druid, brewmaster, windwalker, or enhancement shaman, you will get a new passive which is called critical strikes, and this will increase your crit chance by a further 10%. Which is pretty damn interesting. Now, another thing that they have done is changed up attack power and spell power in terms of how they scale, so the things are a little bit more clear, simple, and easy to balance. Each point of agility or strength will give you 1 attack power, which is down from a previous 2. Also, all attack power sources will also just give you 50% as much, just to balance out with that change that's coming in there to strength and agility. Also, all weapon damage values have been decreased by 20%, which is definitely interesting, but worry not, because attack power will now increase weapon damage at a rate of 1 damage per second per 3.5 attack power. This is actually a lot more than it used to be, because this is actually up from 1 damage per second for every 14 attack power. That's a massive increase, and it should balance out the weapon damage change. Then also they said that attack power, spell power, and weapon damage will now affect the entire healing and damage effect of player spells. And just by the way, I am going to cover my own personal opinions in all of this just at the end of the video, so if you just bear with me, I have 1 or 2 more things to get through first. Now, they also said that they are really happy about active mitigation as far as tanking goes. They want to keep it so the dodge and parry are on the low side. Basically, this will help keep encounters from just having to get really spiky in terms of damage, which is honestly just a pain for tanks, healers, and game designers alike. So yeah, dodge and parry gains from agility and strength have been decreased by 25% per point, and also Warlords of Draenor items will not have dodge or parry as stats. Definitely kind of interesting. So, what do I think of all of this stuff? Well, first of all, let's talk about that tanking change. Active mitigation is, I think, a lot more fun and just better than dodge and parry, and the reason why dodge and parry were problematic is because they really did give you a very large amount of damage avoided. Now, the issue with that is that for a fight to really get scary, Blizzard would start having to just throw crazy amounts of damage per second at you. It was extremely spiky. So they couldn't really challenge tanks by just having a nice, constant, slow flow of damage that was just a really sort of oppressive, scary thing. No, a fight would just have to absolutely, beat the crap out of you in 1 second. That's a problem, because not only did it make tanking annoying, but it also had problems with healers, because healing just turned into this game of spam heals really quickly, and I don't mean spam the same heal, but it was far more of a reaction time game than what they really wanted it to be. Ideally, they want healing to be a more tactical thing, where it's all about choosing the right tool for the job at your current time. So this change will definitely facilitate that for healers, and I think that it should just give a more intellectually stimulating experience for people who like healing. So overall, I think that's very good news if you're a healer, and it's also very good news if you're a tank. Definitely pretty damn good to hear. Alright, so as for these other things, well, I'm not going to dive deep down into the maths, because really it's a bit too early to do all that, and of course these values could all change and things like that, but essentially it looks like overall damage will be rather similar to it is. I don't mean damage will be similar, obviously with the stat squish it won't, but you know what I mean, things won't be crazy unbalanced, but what it will allow is for some very easily tweakable values for Blizzard. They're saying that a lot of these are based off trying to make the game a little bit easier to balance, and I think that's something that as players we all want. Balance issues are very annoying, and also I think a lot of that maths, at least to me, makes a lot more sense. It's a little bit more readable, and that should hopefully just allow it just to be a little bit easier for players to actually understand what's going on with their class under the hood. Perhaps when you look at that character sheet, you're actually going to understand a little bit more. I think that's definitely a very good thing. Then I suppose the final thought that I have is this change so that attack power, spell power, and weapon damage basically all kind of are just one thing that affects the entire healing and damage of a player's spell. That's great, because sometimes, like, there's abilities which scale off your weapon damage, there's abilities which scale off something else, there's abilities which just, it's inconsistent, right? And that inconsistency is really annoying, because what do people like, just in general in the world? They like consistency, they like understanding how something works, and I don't think that was it wasn't really an adventurous and fun inconsistency, was it? No, it was just something that was extra homework if you wanted to play your class well. So I think it's definitely good that that's been fixed. And it should just overall make theory crafting a lot more readable and just kind of bring it down to the point where people can actually understand it a bit better. And I think that's a good thing. If something is good for the vast majority of the player base, then I think it's absolutely worth doing. And actually then finally, I like what they've done with the crit, the crit classes, so the agility-based classes, in adding that baseline 10% crit. I think just from a play experience, it makes sense. Like, if you're a hunter, what's being a hunter about? It's about getting that lethal neck shot, Legolas style. What's a rogue about? It's about getting that, that big blade into the neck, or sort of a twisted blade in the stomach. That's what you think about when you think of those iconic classes. And they all feel like critical hits in the vital organs and things like that. I think that just for making those classes really feel like what people think they should feel like, it's a pretty good change. So overall, I'm very happy, and hopefully you are too. I think these are good changes overall. So yeah, do let me know what you think, and of course stay tuned to the channel, because look, there's going to be a crap ton of videos this weekend. I'm not even going to lie, there's just going to be so damn many. I mean, there's easily going to be 3 or 4 a day. It's just crazy. There's so much news coming out, and then we might actually get into the alpha itself soon. I'm not particularly sure if I'll get in. They haven't given out invites yet, but hopefully, hopefully something will happen there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this stuff interesting, and I'll catch you in the next Warlords of Draenor Alpha video.